You're watching Rurouni K95's anime review on Bakuman. Hi Ruronis, this is your pal Rurouni K95 here. Today's anime review, we get to cover another anime once again for today's anime review is Bakuman. Bakuman is a Japanese manga series written by Tsugumi Ohoba and illustrated by Obata, the same creative team responsible, which is known for their work on Death Note. With, and it started as an anime series from October 2nd, 2010 to March 30th, 2013, which capsulated only 75 episodes on here. And this was directed by Kenichi Kasai and Noriaki Akitaya as well. Yeah. So let's review Bakuman. According to Bakuman, there are seven major steps to manga creation under sketch, ink filling, effects, screen tone, and without. Because I expect if I'm no expert in manga drawing, because even though don't know how to draw manga, but even though I'm self-excluded, but with the series being a manga about manga, which actually got serialized, I have doubt that is correct for what you see in Bakuman. Yeah, of course. This anime alone is not nearly enough to teach you about how to draw manga, but it is quite enough to entertain a casual viewer like you would see what is going on in Bakuman. The show also emphasizes the difficulty of the process. The one that one cannot hope to succeed half-heartedly. As the character mentioned in the first episode, manga is the Japanese cultural heritage popular across the globe. This NHK series is extremely educational, not only introducing the process of manga creation, what you expect as well to see what's going on in Bakuman. Yeah. So, for the thing about it, also debates many other aspects of manga, such as how things work in weekly manga publisher, the selection process, how artists stay serialized, which is probably how their credibility of how manga artists creating their own manga, what you see in Bakuman as well, which is probably to the aspects of the otaku culture as well. Come to think of it, that's how you expect as well of how the importance of how they created a manga. Yeah. And on top of all of this, the importance of target demographics and argues how things ought to be in the industry. In addition, the famous classic and current manga series and their authors are mentioned throughout the series without alteration of any sort. Yeah. What while which functions, however, particularly as a masterpiece, the suggestion for the new manga readers, it even directly quotes them, reenacts Dragon Ball Z Fusion, and uses quirks like Naruto's Date Bayo. I take this to be a stamp of the approval from these authors, as it was to many other certain manga titles that are the current and the longest running, from how basically how their creative flows as well, of how you expect seeing a certain manga title, what you see in Bakuman, which is creative work that'll stand the test of time. That's probably how led to the satisfactory results as well. And also to the pressure themselves to create a masterpiece worthy of mentioning those names. The show uses real life examples as case studies to explain its theories. According to Bakuman, there are six key elements to the successful shonen manga. A world that pulls the readers in clear reason why protagonists are fighting, battles where it's easy to tell what's happening equally, or even more intriguing antagonist, a cute heroine, and some laughs or tears of how they wanted to in depth with how they create the manga as well. The first episode had extreme pull the tested and tried average Joe life changed by a trigger event. In this case, Takagi's request to be a partner. The turn of the events led to the promise of the marriage upon realization of dreams, which serves as the clear reason why the protagonist wants to get his manga serialized, which is the first step to getting in an anime series. Yep, that's how you expect it as well. Then the story goes on to the show, then making a manga, meeting their opponents in the manga contests, and their manga are actually shown, even with a clear ranking measurements to determine a winner about who is the winner or whoever made his serialization of the manga. Easy to tell what's happening in the battle. Then there is Nizuma Eiji, the prodigal archival of the protagonist, who is extremely intriguing and happens to follow the introduce an enemy character. He's even stronger than protagonists, but turns out to be an ally, as mentioned during the Crow production. There's the cute heroine in Azuki, and the show has many comedy and tear-jerker moments to keep the audience interested throughout the series. I find it interesting that the show makes many observations that we probably didn't conclusively conspicuously realize what is going on when casually reading a manga, and even more interesting that if we pay attention, almost every observations of a successful manga being made in this series are actually reflected in the series itself. In fact, it was also mentioned that the most shonen protagonists wield swords, and if you think about it, the protagonists in the show brandish their pens in a battle. The protagonists make 5 manga series in the first anime series. The Two Earths, a millionth of the world runs on Money and Wits, Angel Days, and Quasi Detective Trap as well. Yeah. The Two Earths is their very first manga. It serves basically as a production to the manga creation process. A millionth of the shows, the difficulty of a prize in the manga contests, an introduction of various styles of manga as well, of how they come across. The world runs on money and wits functions as their confidence booster as well as their gateway to future success of how they wanted to do this. Angel Days is used to show the qualities of the typical shonen manga and the importance of choosing manga that fits each author's style. And finally, Quasi Trap as their success of the series, and its production's process emphasizes the bond and the friendship between the two main characters. So the story follows the standard shonen format with many session elements. The good guys work hard to realize their dreams while encountering one obstacle after another. After clearing each obstacle, they level up, becoming better artists and attain better understanding of themselves. Like all seishun sports or music anime, or any other genres in anime in general, what you see in Bakuman as well. They are consistent themes of awkward youth love, challenges of being a student, and the importance of friendship. The protagonists technically are set 4 years as their goal for their anime debut when they made an anime. This is the prime reason why Mashiro is always in such a rush to make a manga and frequently shows his impatience. The main characters in the series are extremely human and they act according to their own desires to make their dreams come true. Tagaki has the ambition of becoming rich and famous, and he gave up the mainstream path of the elites, getting good grades to get into to Aegis University, for his love of manga and become the true gambler. Azuki, on the other hand, follows her dream of becoming a seiyuu and moves to Tokyo, while stubbornly limits an interaction with Mashiro to motivate both herself and Mashiro, Miyoshi truly acts on her desires and can't help but reveal secrets of the others and butting into their business, what is going on. Nizuma also acting on his desires but in a different way, drawing what he pleases and doesn't care about what others think about him. Hattori sees promise in our Shirogi and does everything, so even some dirty adult tricks, to make them succeed. What I'm trying to think to get at is that the characters are interesting and they move on their own, according to their desires. I have to say that they are too human at times, and causes their actions and motivations to detach from reality. But as a fantasy and dreams shown in series, this is totally acceptable as well. According to Bakuman, there are three requirements for the successful mangaka: conceit, effort, and luck. One of the major themes in the series have confidence in yourself to follow your dream, what you see in this anime. To follow the dream, the protagonists put a lot of effort into the manga, sacrificing sleep, school, and even time for girls in the order to become successful. Furthermore, luck is pretty relevant in this series. However, it remains realistic due to many setbacks they face, just as they would in the harsh reality. The protagonist consists of the relative of a mangaka and a guy who is getting the best grades in school, yet interested in manga, and right off the bat, they have been dealt pocket ace as gamblers. Still, they don't become overnight success. It took a lot of sacrifice and effort. After 5 manga series, they finally made it into an authentic weekly magazine. This series isn't just a tale, but it successfully difficulty in making a living with a manga and shows. The harsh reality, the only most talented and hardworking succeeded. They were dealt another lucky card in getting Hattori as the editor, who truly cares about the authors and precautiously raises them as mangaka as well. As a shonen manga, the convenient as actual setting is actually preferred. The key is how realistic the story develops given the fantasy premise. I especially loved a subtle snippet of reality in Mashiro's family, where the breadwinner and the eldest of the family calling the shots in home, like when father and grandpa straight up shut off the mother in roundabout ways, with the decision-making process in his home. And please give me seconds. Refill my bowl by grandpa. It's outdated and somewhat sexist, but the harsh reality in the Japanese culture. I mean, what is it with the harsh in Japanese culture? I mean, the characters are basically are the fantastic leads. The themes in the story, what have you see in Bakuman, the sound is basically every single song they used in this. The art is beautiful, and the story is basically of how they wanted to make their manga. But overall, Bakuman is my all-time favorite anime, particularly of all the otaku culture anime, as it was to basically leads to the extent to Welcome to the NHK and Shirobako, is what Bakuman had a lot to do for the otaku culture. If you haven't seen this anime, give Bakuman a watch as well. So that's going to be it for my anime review on Bakuman for today's anime review. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts on this. When I first watched this anime, I really realized that the characters in Bakuman made their own manga as well as they're in the hurry to make a anime series to see what is going on in Bakuman, besides basically how it's given in the title, but basically. If you haven't seen Bakuman, give this one a watch, because this is probably to the extent to Shirobako and Welcome to the NHK for the otaku culture. Hope subscribe for content, my anime plan, link in the description down below. You can share this video on your Twitter, Facebook if you have a Twitter, Facebook account, and all social media. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button. Feel free to leave in the comments in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RoniK95. Feel free to join the channel, especially when you're new on my channel. Hit the notifications bell and keep it otaku. I got another anime review next. Stay tuned for my next anime review. I got another Rurouni Kenshin related anime once again for tomorrow's anime review on Samurai X the Motion Picture. Stay tuned for my next anime review on Samurai X the Motion Picture, because you won't want to miss another anime review.